Every time you light my face, I do wanna say it too.
So, hey everyone, as you guys know, I'm Nadia and this is my friend.
I'm Cool, and these are our guests for today.
Hi guys, my name's Aisha. I'm a third year student majoring in psychology, and I'm from International Islamic University of Malaysia.
I'm also from International Islamic University Malaysia. I am majoring in mass communication. I'm a first year student. My name is Margaret bin Abdul Razak.
Arman?
My name is Armine. I'm in high school. I'm doing SPM in science course.
Okay.
My name is Amira. I'm from University Technology Mara, and my course is graphic design.
So right now we're currently doing our last podcast. We wanna ask you guys your experience and your thoughts on CMCO and the online learning experiences. So the first question is, since the start of the CMCO, the first CMCO, did your uni or school offer any academic advice after the implementation of the CMCO?
Honestly, like from my university, they did not give us any academic advice. They just like let us be, but they did like offer help in terms that you can take a study leave or like financial help to the students.
So they give you guys financial aid for the students who actually need it?
Yeah, for B40 students, so like they can afford Wi-Fi and data for online learning. Yeah, like but not in terms of academic advice.
Basically the same lah. Like nothing academic. No academic advice. They help students like that.
They mostly just tell to be more disciplined and attend the class because a lot of people didn't attend the class.
I see. Are you one of them?
Pretty much all. No, sometimes.
Kev, you wanna give another question?
Yeah, sure. So my question for everyone is studying at home. Like every classes you experience are at home now. So how peaceful is the environment at home? I mean, for me, I'll give an example. For me, the environment at home, everyone in my household are studying as well. So they kind of understand my situation and they kept it down when I'm having class and all that. But then the only not peaceful thing I experienced was my internet connection as well. I use DG, and from where I'm from, DG is not a very good, it doesn't have very good network coverage. So that's my part. So how about you guys? I would like to start with Arman.
My problem, well, me personally, I like to study at school because of the environment and all. At home, whenever it's like 24/7, always loud in the house. So yeah, that's that. And the internet is not always good too.
No, honestly, I have to agree with Arman. Like, I would prefer to study in my uni at campus because honestly, because like you go out and about, right? You see all your friends and stuff. So you get the motivation to study from your friends. But like at home, even though it's peaceful and I have like good data, the motivation and like the morale is not, it's just like not the same, you know? You have to have good self-discipline. I do not have that. Like I need motivation from other people. So I just get lazy. I do not attend class. I do my assignments last minute. So it's like, yeah, that's that.
But me, I just entered university, but then during my time at university, I actually spend most of my time sometimes studying, sometimes talking with my friends. But then once I went home, I rarely study or I rarely join any class because it's really hard for me. It's not because my siblings making a lot of noise. It's just that staying at home, it has this vibe where you don't have the feeling that you wanted to study or anything.
Yeah.
Because we can literally went out. Because just by staying at home, I can literally wherever I want, whenever I want. So especially since I have more friends here, so I spend most of my times outside. Meeting my friends and all. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think home is too comfy, man. loud as well, like, you know.
Home is where you go to relax you and like take a break during the semester break and stuff. It's not like a place where you can actually study. The vibe is just different.
Especially when your
Yeah,
friends stay with you or near your house, you know.
I totally understand what Mac said about the vibe thing, because even for me as well, when you're in class, the 1 hour class, you're just focused in class. I mean, when you're at home, you want to study for 1 hour, but nothing is stopping you from, I don't know, playing Mobile Legends or something. You can
Yes,
just, it's
Yeah,
easy to
true.
stray away.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, I completely agree. Like at least in class, like in real life classes, your lecturer is in front of you, right? So you don't have any option other than to focus to your lecture. But like at
exactly.
home, you have all these other things like games and like Netflix and stuff.
The
So
temptation
I
is
don't
just too
have that
much.
much of a self discipline. Yes, true. I think like when it comes to online learning, it just comes to your self discipline.
Yeah, true.
I would like to know, like, if your lecturers slash teachers have they helped you in any sort of way? Like, I mean, have you seen them actually putting effort in making it easier for you? I would like to know that.
Academically and mentally.
Yeah, and also technologically.
Yeah.
Like, have they been helping you? Yeah, and helping
Oh,
themselves as
I
well.
guess in a way like my lecture helps the student. If everything is too much right now during the CMCO and stuff, we can let them know like for them to extend the due date submission for the assignment. I think like that's the only way our lecturer helped us during the CMCO and like online learning, because sometimes online learning can be too much and like not everyone are as privileged like others. Like some have to work right now to help their parents and stuff. So yeah.
the only thing that my lecturer did was, let's say in 1 week there's like 2 classes. The lecturer will say that, okay, maybe we'll have only one classes for a whole week. So I that is the only thing that I see my lecturer did. Most of my lecturer doesn't really care about that. It doesn't really care about
Yeah,
the
but
students.
like honestly, my lecturer did that as well. Like they shortened the classes and like from 2 classes a week they make it into one class, or like from 1.5 hour they make it into like half an hour or just 1 hour. But I don't think it helps, because like you're supposed to maintain the amount of period of time for studying. But so for me, it doesn't help in any way. I mean, I get that their intentions are good, but it's like for me it's not helping, because you're lessening the time of learning for the
Lessons.
students.
My lecturer never extend my due date for my assignment. So because sometimes lecturers think that since we're already at home and we are doing this mediated classes, they think that we have too much time to spare, to use to do these assignments. But then
My teacher doesn't really give like personal help. They just do the class according to their own schedule and just hope the students follow through.
Understandable.
Yeah, I have to agree because like my sister, my Shrek, she's in high school as well. She's doing SPM, and I thought like the teachers would stick to the regular schedule, in terms of classes like university. But they do classes at like the most random times, like 10 p.m., 9 p.m., 7 a.m. So it's just like stick to a schedule, it's gonna make it easier for the student.
Yeah.
Since the start of CMCO, how easy or difficult has it been for you to balance family, household, and school responsibilities?
Yeah, oh my god. Sometimes my mom says she understands that I have classes, she won't bug me, but then like 10 minutes later, when I'm in class, she was like, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? I was like, Mom, you said you know. Oh my god. Yeah, it's very hard when you're at home, they just don't understand. I'm the kind of person I want to do something until I finish it. If I stop and then I'm gonna lose my motivation to do it. So in the end, I end up procrastinating.
Yeah.
I have to say I don't have any other responsibilities. Like I don't do anything at home, and my mom like just lets me be. So basically, what I do is like I wake up, I be lazy, and then I go study a little bit, and I go watch Netflix, and I go do assignment, and I sleep. That's it.
My family, my parents and my siblings they understand my situation. So when I have classes, they won't bother me. So I'm not
That's
really, I'm not really affected by my surroundings or any parents.
Uh, I do have a lot of work from school, but I didn't do most of it because I spend my time doing my thing, watching
What kind of
YouTube and
thing,
all.
Arman?
Cute.
Is it like family or household responsibilities since you're not doing any school
Yeah,
responsibilities?
sometimes, yeah, like clean the outside and all that, but only sometimes, not every day.
Well, personally, I find it hard too. I'm not saying that I have a lot of responsibilities. I don't, but I do have to do a lot of things in my house, and it's kind of hard since like right now we're having our assignment submission, and we are also currently having our finals exams. And honestly, I when I'm trying to do my exam or assignment, I like to do it like the whole day. I don't really like to procrastinate, and but at the same time I have to let go of responsibilities that I have in my house. And I didn't really clean my house 2 days ago, and my mom freaked out on me because of that. But then like I told her that I did have things to do. I did have assignments that I have to submit. But then she didn't say anything. She understood because I told her that whenever I'm busy, I won't do any work inside the house. Like that's just me. I mean, I try to find the time, but if I can't, I just won't because I have to have time for myself and I have to have time for my responsibilities also because that's my main priority.
No, I actually gotta commend Nadia on that because recently we have this loads of assignment, and she's actually
Yeah.
I think she's the only one that finished it early. I think everyone else did it like last minute. I did it last
Dude,
minute. Nadia did it so early. I
yo,
was so
like that's the
wow.
normal thing for every student, right? To do it last minute. But then Nadia finishes her assignment like 1 week prior. Like that's how
2 weeks
intense she
before.
is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so
Like,
impressed by
dude,
that.
chill out.
No, I mean, I'm more like Aisha actually. I'm like I don't have much to
Hey,
do. Yeah, I mean the temptations usually take away my free time. I usually just play ML, all that. I have all the time in the world to do it early, but I didn't.
True.
And Nadia, like, yeah,
yes, I agree too. I agree. But like, sometimes games and Netflix are too good to ignore.
exactly.
I mean, okay. So let's move on to another question. Kavina, you wanna start another question?
So, what do you think about the tuition fee? Should it be reduced? Oh,
Mm,
yeah.
Because like honestly, I come from a government university, so like the tuition fee is already subsidized. So I don't think like they should reduce the amount of fees because it's already cheap to begin with. Like that's just my personal thoughts. But then I come from a situation that's privileged, so like maybe other people would have different views.
I mean, hmm.
Just holding him at gunpoint.
No, the thing is, I haven't checked my tuition fees yet, so I think it's been reduced. Maybe. I think so, since we're from the same
No,
university. So
like
yeah, I think they only reduce the hostel fees. Yeah, they only reduce the hostel fees, but then the tuition fees we still paid full.
All right.
So
yeah, but like last semester when the CMCO first started, they did reduce the tuition fees and like the hostel fees for the students. So I don't know if they're gonna do the same thing for this semester.
I think it should be reduced because like if you're in the campus, you should pay for like the I don't know the fee.
Facilities.
Yeah, the facilities. Because like you're there and you are using it.
Yeah, for URA it's like mostly internationals who's still there, but even them they are considering of going back to their country because like what's the point of staying in Malaysia if you cannot go out and like enjoy the country? Because they're still they want to have the tourist experience when even if you're a student.
Mm. That's true.
Actually, some of my friends, my Malaysian friends, some of them decided they want to stay at university, since the amount of fees that the fees amount that they reduce is not really that much, so they prefer to stay at university.
Yeah, because UIA provides like
Yeah.
free internet and stuff, so they don't have to pay for data. Yeah.
Mm,
But then you still have to be cooked up inside UIA, right? Even though you're there, even if you're there.
Yeah, but like recently they just opened the gate, so you can go out from like 9 until 5.
Okay.
But if there is a case within the UIA campus, they're gonna lock the gates again.
Mm.
What about you, Nadia and Cole? What's your opinion on this topic? This talk?
Yeah,
On this.
We
So
are.
I think you guys, your fees is way higher or way more
That's
expensive
true.
than ours, right?
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
All right.
Okay.
So me and Nat, yeah, since we go to a private school, the fees are way higher, and the thing is, the for private schools usually when you see the facilities are much more fancy and all that. I think that's the main cause for the high fees. So since we're not using any of those facilities, I think it's appropriate that they reduce the fees just a little bit. I don't mind, as long as, like, imagine if I said this during the first podcast, like 100% of what we pay, like if 50% goes to the lecture, 50% goes to the college, I think they should reduce from the college side. They shouldn't reduce from the lecturer's income, because they're still paying for their services, but at the same time, we're not using their facilities. They're not using that money for their electricity bills and all that. So yeah, I think it's appropriate to reduce a bit. Nadia?
Yeah, maybe I think not too much, but they still have to reduce it because the institution has to have that money to maintain its fanciness, I guess, but it has to be reduced around maybe like maximum 20%, I think. But it can't be more than that, I think, because like if we ask them to reduce it more than 20%, then it's gonna be hard for them to maintain what they are maintaining currently. I do totally agree with Kavana, like the lecture side of the money should not be reduced. They should be maintained because, you know, they're not doing charity, they're doing their work, they're working full time as a lecturer. It's gonna affect them financially if we do reduce it on their side of the spectrum. So I don't think it should be reduced. But at the same time, I think they should think about the students who are unprivileged, not privileged enough.
Since it's online, most of us are going back home, and to be honest with you guys, finding a job there is not very easy. So income wise, even the salary there is not as high as it is here. I mean, it's understandable since cost of living here is higher, but then here is where we're studying. What we're paying for is right here, and when we're working from Sabah, and as hard as it is to find a job there, it's very hard to keep up, you know. So especially during this quarantine time, nobody's gonna quit any jobs. They're just gonna stick with their job because they know how hard it is to find a new job, and that is hard for the ones unemployed at the moment lah. That's my thought.
Since the start of CMCO, how easy or difficult has time management been for you?
Extremely
very hard.
difficult.
I agree.
No motivation, I tell you.
I play
No,
games
it's
all
like
day.
just like I say, you know, it's like I don't have a lot on my plate. So basically, I have all the time in the world for me to do my stuff and study. But it's just, you know, staying at home is different than staying in campus because like you go to class in real life, you see all your friends, you see the lecturer, like the vibe is just different.
I think most of the time is basically like when you're in university, you see your friends, they are doing their work and all the stuff. So I think that's the only reason why I did my assignments, because I was worried since everyone is doing their work, and seems I don't want to be, you know,
Left out.
looked as someone that is lazy.
Yeah,
You didn't want to have that reputation.
Yeah, like when it comes to real life classes, you know, you can ask your friends, hey, did you finish this work? Did you start studying for finals? And like when you hear your friends already did that, you become nervous, you know, so you start that just because you know your friends started that. Now it's just like I see Maghrib sleeping and like I see my siblings doing other work. So I just like, oh, okay, let's just postpone and delay my work. Like I cheated a few times. So even when it comes to presentation, I like you have to prepare for presentation, right? But I just like write down notes in front of my laptop and I read it off based on a script for my presentation. And for exams, I even though it's not supposed to be an open book test, but I do refer to books. So yeah, it just allows you, the space for you to cheat and stuff, I guess.
Well, for me, since yeah, cheating is not one of my thing about because I'm an art student. I cannot cheat in any way, no matter what, right? So, yeah. So at sometimes I even submit my assignment after the due date.
I don't really manage my time. But my teacher like advised me to do a timetable, but I don't. And I just basically do things based on what I feel like doing. And
I
most of the
see.
time it's not studying. I was just about to say that there's a chili in your mouth, Nadia. No.
I was just kidding.
I'm
That's
gonna
like
kill you
that.
after this.
Yeah.
What about you, Nadia? Since you always, you manage your time, you always did your assignments early.
Personally, I think time management is all about discipline, and I always think that I'm disciplined, not that disciplined, but I'm disciplined enough to manage everything in my life through sections. So, but basically, the only reason that I manage my time is so that I can help my mom with the house chores. Because God knows, nobody's gonna do that in my house, so I'm the only one who has to do it. I have to manage my time in terms of that, and at the same time, my studies are one of my top priorities right now in my life. So, but at the same time, my family is important to me too. And sometimes my cousins, you guys, ask me out like last minute, half an hour, sometimes before you want to go out. So, and I don't want to say no because I want to hang out with you guys. And like family is my top priority right now. So that's why I do things early so that I would be able to hang out with my friends and my family whenever I want and whenever they want to hang out with me.
What about you, Cole? You mentioned about game. You play games like Mobile Legends and you watch
Yeah.
Netflix and all. So by doing your assignments late, like a day before the due date, do you really? What is your opinion? Does it affect you mentally and emotionally?
I mean, to be honest, okay, I was actually taking notes when Nadia was talking because I was really impressed by how she manages her time. But for me, she would really be happy with all the time I have on my hands. She would really be happy with all the time because I have so many free time, and I play games like almost all the time, Netflix and all that. But about the part where I do my assignment last minute, yeah, I mean every sem I do that. Every sem I put a lot of mental stress on myself, suicidal thoughts and all that. But at the end of the day, it's finished, and I can never be happier with the end result. But yalla, I mean, I could have like put less stress on myself, do it earlier, would have
Mm.
been the same end result. But then I think the pressure is what gets me disciplined. So if I don't have that pressure, like lama lagi, it's I don't have that pressure. I can't do it. I mean, I can just push rank first, all that. Yeah. So I'm just
Just
I'm
I
just
just
human.
wanna point it out. Even though he does things last minute, he studies last minute. I swear to God, he studies last minute. His grades are just like mine, right? Like so, like I get frustrated because of that because like if I do what he does, I will never get the marks that I'm getting right now. But I don't really study that hard last minute. I usually like push it
It's
away.
just
Likewise to you. If I do it your way, I wouldn't have as well. I mean, if I did it my way, I do it better. If I do it your way, you do it better.
Yeah.
So yalla, each of us have our own ways, and I think
Yeah.
you're the best in your way. Yeah, so that's good
Yeah,
lah.
that's true.
Yeah, I have to agree with Cool though, like because for me I do it like how Cool does assignments like very last minute and for finals even. But the pressure is what gets me off, like the pressure makes me function better and like my brain functions better in a way because it retains much more information that way when I do it last minute, rather than, if I do it in Nadia's way, I wouldn't perform as well.
I will study in the last month, and I hope everything will be okay from there. I mean, I leave it to future me. Like the present me is too lazy to do it, so yeah.
I just want to summarize what we said just now. Like the best message to send to people is not to study last minute or do it early, but I guess the best message is do it
Your way.
the way,
Your way.
yeah, your own way,
No way.
the best way you can do it. Yeah. What's the best thing that happened to you since MCO? Since we're all talking about negative things when it comes to MCO, COVID-19 and all that, I just want to ask, what's the best thing that's happened to you guys since MCO started?
Dude, food. My mom cooks every day, dude. My mom's cooks every day.
It's so random.
Oh.
For me, it's that I can sleep in the morning.
Mm.
But recently I've been forced to like change my sleep schedule and all. So I'm becoming more like Nadia now.
Oh, he says that like it's a bad thing. Like I'm becoming Nadia now.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
I literally did my assignment 3 days before the due date, and then my parents was like, "Oh, come on, you gotta be like Nadia. Do it like a week before the due date." I was like, "Mom, seriously?"
Honestly, for me, the only good thing, like everything has been downhill since CMCO, but the only good thing that happened.
Um, since the start of the CMCO, how easy or difficult has it been for you guys to adjust to online instructions?
Honestly, for me, there's not much of a difference because even before Corona and CMCO, instructions are given online. It's just like if you have any confusion when you're doing the assignment, then you can consult your lecturers. But most of the time, students do not. So it's like not that much of a difference for me.
Ah, I see.
I think it's really difficult for me because this is my first time entering university, and then suddenly I need to use Google Classroom, and then there's this IUM has this iMaklum and iTaklim things. Well, thankfully I have Aisha. She helped me. She helped me a lot. But then some of my friends, they're like they didn't receive the kind of help that I get from Aisha. So it's actually really hard if Aisha is not here. So,
Yeah, because
well
like
done,
one
Aisha.
thing they don't give you like proper detailed instruction when you're a first year student in regards on what you have to do. So when like during my first year, it was like real life classes, right? So I had the chance on like seeing academic advisors and like my seniors and ask them face to face, oh, what should I do and like how should I go about it. But when it comes to online, it's hard to make friends, like you cannot just say hi. It's like creepy, when you're making friends from strangers and like trying to befriend them. So it's hard to that way for first year students to get, detailed instruction on like what you're supposed to do.
I think it's easier for me because I don't have to get scolded face to face by my lecturer. They don't get to curse at my face.
Okay.
You just get like a five
So yeah, it's easier
page
for me.
email from her lecturer.
Yeah.
It's actually really hard for me since the only way for me to consult my lecturer is by emailing them, and then they have this. They actually send us an image on how we need to write our emails. Like we need to give the regards, and then we need to tell our names and the metric number. But then they will only reply our email after 3 days. Sometimes like the due date is like in 2 days, and then they already sent the assignment, and then during that time they just replied my email. So it's really hard. I think face to face is easier. I think since we can just straight on ask the question, and they will reply to our question.
Yeah, especially if you do last minute work.
Yeah, totally. And most of us do that.
Yeah.
So it's hard for most.
Most of us. Nadia is the only one that did her assignments early.
Nadia is the exception.
That's why I said most of us. I could have said all.
Yeah.
I will say it is a bit easier because like I have social anxiety. So like at school I wouldn't really go to them and ask them anything. But I can just text them at home. I can just always text them.
I see. I mean, how about you, Kev? How has your experience been?
For me, it's actually quite easy life since all we use is WhatsApp and we only use the mail for like submissions. But I don't know. It's usually what causes my setbacks is because of myself. Because last time, like I completely messed up on my assignment because I didn't ask the lecturer directly. I just did it based on my understanding of the question. I had questions, but I didn't ask things like that. So it's actually quite easy life. I utilize it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, since the start of CMCO, how easy or difficult has it been for you guys to perform group projects and presentations?
Yo, I have to say, it's like, can I curse or like cannot?
Nope.
No.
I mean,
It's so hard. Like legit, it's hard because one thing, it's easier to flake when it comes to online learning. So when you text in the uh, group group WhatsApp, like asking and dividing work, right? Your group mates can just like ghost you and they won't reply. So I think like that's the hard part, and it gets annoying sometimes because like the submission is going to be tomorrow, and when I ask them to correct or edit something, they would just ignore me and say, "Oh, I'm sick. I don't have the time," and like there's so many excuses.
For me, there is not much group projects, more individual assignments. So
Huh?
I don't have any problem with that.
See, how about Magib?
I haven't experienced any face-to-face discussion, but then nowadays it's really hard for me because last time I actually just submit a new assignment. We were told to do, to create a video, a short video, and then one of my group mates, he literally ghosted my every question that I asked, and then in the end I had to create that video. I had to edit it by my own, and then I was the one who submitted the video. And then even though I told madam or I told my professor what he did, I don't think professor really care. He just the professor actually blamed me for not how do
Being
you
a
say
good
it?
leader.
Having the leadership skills. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my
Even though I was
god,
literally
it's
ghosted.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like you
So
cannot force your group mates to do anything because you haven't seen them in real life and you cannot have a face-to-face discussion. But if it's face-to-face, you can just like call
yeah,
them
the
out.
professor
Like you
blamed
should
me
do
for
this,
not,
you should start doing this. Now it's just easier to ghost and flake on people.
I do have to do some presentation, but I didn't do them.
okay.
Oh, Arman is the one that Arman is the type that ghosted people.
Yeah.
The situation is that the same presentation is given to two different groups, and then like the other group has already done it, so like the teacher didn't ask me to do it. So
Oh my God.
It doesn't excuses.
All I hear are excuses.
Later on, like please do not take our mind to your group projects. He's the lazy type.
It's okay, Arman. I used to be like that too. Yeah.
thank you, Kev.
Oh
Thank you,
no.
Kev.
Time up.
Arman, school is just being nice.
I cannot believe that
School is
you're
just
like
being
that.
nice.
I really can't believe that you're like that because like you're so helpful whenever we're group mates.
I'm
I've
helpful at
evolved.
school, okay? I'm
Yeah.
helpful at school,
Arman,
okay?
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Only at school. At home, no. Only at school I'm helpful.
So I guess that's it, guys. So this is the end of our podcast. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for taking your time and be here, and thank you so much for waking up before 11 to be here. I honestly feel glad and like honored that you guys did so. And
Anything for you, yeah.
you guys want to add anything
Yeah, and
before we go?
No, thank you for having and inviting us and, tolerating our lateness. Especially Toti. I have to call Toti out.
Thank you
Hey,
for
Amira,
having me.
sorry.
But why
Oh
is
my God.
Aisha here?
Oh my
Why is
God.
Aisha here?
Didn't Aisha say she doesn't want to come?
Amira. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you, Kul and Nadia, for having us and welcoming
thank you,
us for
guys.
this podcast.